Anthony Hartwig, Ty Bartell here with another Louisville girls basketball player profile. We're joined by senior Kendal Loy. Kendall, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Kendall, first and foremost, the question I've asked all of the seniors too is just what has this experience been like this season? New coach coming in or coming back rather for a year with the seniors. What has it been like too? Because you've had the unique experience being injured, but coming into the middle of the season, what was it like? Kind of sitting from the bench watching and then coming into to play.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say the experience as a whole, my only word that I have is just a blessing, really. I mean, in every way, we got amazing coaching staff. I mean, the greatest teammates, my seniors, and all the underclassmen have just been incredible. And as for the injury, I mean, there's not a better support system than your teammates and a coaching staff like this to get you back. And I got back a lot sooner than anyone expected. So, like I said, just a blessing overall in every way is what I'd have to say about that.
When you're coming back from something like that, it's almost as much mental as it is physical. What kind of things did you do to kind of get yourself back as fast as you did?
Well, when you sit through a whole volleyball season, I didn't get to play like at all in that. And you're right, it's more mental than physical, especially. But it's just every time I was in physical therapy, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do everything I can. I stayed extra for everything, went to every practice, did everything I could. I mean, it's a battle physically and mentally, like you said. And it just takes hard work and a mindset that you're going to get there. And you just have to make everything you can happen to get there.
Quick follow up to that: how much have has that experience helped you kind of treasure all the games you do get to play in this basketball season and kind of not take anything for granted?
That it's everything to me. Every time I step on the court, I'm just so beyond thankful to be out there because I know what it's like on the other side and I know what it's like sitting there and yeah, sitting there and getting to be a coach is really, really fun and you get to see it from a different perspective. But being out there is unlike anything else. So can't take anything for granted.
And you talked about missing volleyball season. Did you let that help motivate you to come back even stronger for the basketball season? And if so, the play we're seeing from you and this entire Lady Leopards team has been very impressive. So I'm just curious on that side of things.
Yeah, definitely a huge motivator. I got to cheer on my team though, so you get to learn something even from the worst experiences. So I took that from that situation. But yeah, definitely a motivator. Definitely pushed me to get back and want to be out there with my teammates.
Talk about this Louisville culture and what it's like to be a part of it, and what have been some of your biggest takeaways from being a part of this leopard culture that you're in.
The leopard culture is like unlike anything else. I mean, you guys were saying I heard in Aubrey's interview actually, it's just the community as a whole is just so supportive and they're everywhere. I mean, this was the biggest turnout we've probably had for girls basketball. I mean, there's always that boys games, there's more here, girls less there, and having that community and those people behind you, it's just unlike anything else. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it.
Being in the senior leadership position now, were there any former players that you looked up to and said, that's what I want to be when I'm a senior?
I remember sitting in the bleachers when I was younger, watching Sarah Larson play defense for the Leopards, and I was just like, I want to be that. I want to be scrappy and all over the ball. And she never worried about points. She just was always, I'm gonna stop the ball. I'm gonna get it done. And then of course, I mean, Paige Cole. You look at Paige Cole, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's Paige Cole. Like she's unlike anybody else, and I look up to her. And of course, my other teammates just playing alongside them. I know that's not looking up, but I mean, they're just as much of role models as anybody else to me.
Now on this team, there's a lot of young players that have stepped up as well. So now there might be players that look to you in that same role that you look to the players that you just mentioned. What's that kind of like for you to know that now people are watching you for leadership and people are looking at you to be the model or the thing that they want to mold themselves into?
It blows my mind. Like people say, the cheesy saying, like, "Oh, time goes by so fast." I mean, it's so true. It's so true. And I've never imagined that I'd be here. I mean, it's just insane thinking there are kids out there in the stands watching us, watching my team and I. And Kelsey and I and Brooke Heron coached a third grade team this year for Louisville, and all those girls come out and support, and just knowing that they look up to us like I looked up to those former players is just an insane experience for me.
Can we follow up that with the coaching experience and what that has that taught you anything about maybe understanding what your coaches are saying and understanding where they're coming from when they're trying to teach you stuff? Talk about that experience and that how that's helped you grow as a player too.
Yeah, that's a great question. Coaching them has definitely showed me a lot about coaching and like what my coaches are trying to tell me because you realize what you have to do for each different person. I mean, everybody learns differently and picks up on things differently. So like I'd have one player who could not pick up on a play at the age in third grade, and then another one that's like, oh my gosh, like we know exactly what to do. And I see now that like coaches for all ages have that problem where they have to adjust, and I just really commend them for that. And then to make me a better player, it's definitely taught me to be even more coachable. I like to pride myself and my teammates in being coachable. We're a coachable team, but even just coaching like that and seeing like third graders and how they react to that is like how much you grow in being coachable. And I think I've just applied that more to my game as well. Just really taking in all the information your coaches give you.
When the injury occurred, and like you said, you kind of had to sit through volleyball season, miss a bit of basketball season. Did it ever occur to you, or were you ever actively thinking about how I act now as a direct reflecting on the younger girls that are watching me, looking up to me as a senior?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a hard thing to go through for anyone, and a lot of people go through much worse than I did. So I'm not going to talk like it wasn't true, but it's definitely you definitely have to keep your head up. It's you just have to stay strong even when it's hard because that's just how life is, and especially to be a good example for those younger girls and even my teammates. It was definitely keeping a positive mindset even when it wasn't that easy.
Every athlete has a different way to get hyped and excited for a game day and to get themselves in that mood. What do you do to get yourself hyped and jazzed up to go out there and play basketball?
Um, this year specifically, Courtney Barwick and I have been having the time of our lives pregame. I mean, we just talk and always are talking about the JV and getting into the JV games. Oh, Coach Kudo's yelling over here. But yeah, Courtney and I really just talk and jokes, those kind of things. And I'm always trying to get around to my teammates. And I really like candy for some reason before games. I've been eating some candy recently, which is kind of strange. But
Right, we have to know what the go-to. We have to know what the go-to candy is. And I mean, you brought it up. Well, what's the pregame candy like?
really depends on the day. I mean, ever since volleyball season this year, I've been like, Mom, Dad, I need the candy. Like, I need at least $1 to go to the concession stand to get something. I really like a good Starburst here and there. That's a good one. So it's kind of where I'm at.
The fruity candy is where it's at for
Yes.
sure. For sure.
I agree, 100%.
Hearing Coach Kudo yelling though in the background too, and I mean I've gotten a chance to talk with him too, and I got to see both sides. He could be soft spoken, he could be energetic too. Just talk to me a little bit about what it's been like with him coming back this season and coaching you guys for your senior year.
There's not a better person for this job. I can say that wholeheartedly, and I think I speak for my whole team when I say that. He is just the single most inspiring and passionate person I have probably ever met. And to have him as a coach and to have him around all these times, he's not only here to help us with basketball, but to help us with life. And there's nobody that cares more about the girls. And it's just been the best experience for all of us.
Who are some of your role models that you look to just help yourself grow and to kind of be a mold of where you want to be and the person you want to be, not just on the basketball court, but of course off of it as well?
Yeah. Basketball wise, my AAU coach I had when I was in 7th through probably 9th grade before COVID, Siobhan Robinson, she played at Kent South and Ohio University. She's always been a basketball and person inspiration. I can say she shaped me into the player I am today and helped me become a better person in every way. And as for just a role model in general, my mom, Heidi Loy, is probably my biggest inspiration in life, and my dad, Ken Loy. They are the most hardworking and kind and generous people, and I look up to them in every way and just want to be like them when I'm older.
And looking at this now, I mean, moment of reflection. We talked about the Louisville community and what it has meant to you. Just kind of talk about what I guess now the future holds for you. I mean, colleges, trade schools. What's in the plans now of Kendal Loy for the future?
Yeah, so I recently accepted my admission to the Ohio State University. I have not decided on a major yet, but my goal is to get accepted to medical school and hopefully become a pediatrician after.
And when you're making those plans of the big next level education, who have been some high school teachers that have impacted your journey that you think you can carry lessons with you to Ohio State?
One being my French teacher of 4 years, Madame Todd. She is the definition of energy, probably. She is just so kind and really helped me get through high school. It's not just a student, but as a person. And Mr. Carpico, who has caused me probably more stress than I can put into words, but is also like my favorite teacher. It's definitely been a big inspiration for me throughout high school.
Kendall, before we let you go, we've been prompted to ask this, so we have to ask it. Who is the best dancer on the team?
No brainer, Maddie Dyer, best dancer. That girl.
Yeah, I feel like there's some insider trading going on here to get
Definitely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
But Kendall, my final question before we let you go, because we extended it to all the other seniors. How do you want to be remembered by when all's said and done? How do you want people to remember Kendal Loy by at Louisville?
I guess I just say my goal is to be remembered as I don't like maybe a silent leader, like someone who just leads by example, someone who pushes themselves and just is the best they can be on and off the court, and just as someone you can go to, just a leader. And that's kind of what I hope I leave behind here at Louisville.
You say a silent leader, but you got a good voice and you got to use it a lot more.
Thank
I
you.
know we say this before we let you go, but this for sure, the last one, because we want to give you the chance to give the shout out to your support system and the people that have been there for you throughout the whole journey. Give a shout out to the people that support you.
Oh, I could go on and on about those, but some big shout outs are definitely my parents, my little brother Colton. My grandparents on both sides have been at every game they can. They drive and make it to everything they can, just my whole family. I've had a lot of friends come out and support me throughout everything, especially through the injury. My team has always been there for me, supported me throughout the whole way, and I'm just so thankful for all of them. That's who I thank.
Kendall, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate the time right before practice.
Yes, right before practice.
We definitely appreciate the time of all four of you seniors. Thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors and on the basketball court on Sunday. We hope this journey goes as long as it can.
Thank you so much for having me and for letting me talk to you guys.
Thank you.